Thank you, Karen. Everybody, welcome to the class of Papel Picado. My name is Ernesto Hernandez Olmos, and I'm original from Oaxaca City in Mexico. We have a very, very special tradition down there in Mexico about Dia de los Muertos. It's a long story about how we celebrate with very colorful, very beautiful. We use many different art medias to celebrate us ancestors. Part of this series of Dia de los Muertos, we have one with flower making, and this one is gonna be Papel Picado. Papel Picado means they didn't cut the paper. Actually, they use a chisel. They chisel with a hammer the paper. That's what picado. And they done maybe around 100 sheets in one copy. They use copies, or they use just the imagination. They almost a lot of practice they have, and they just go chiseling. They draw on the paper, and later they go chisel. And those is very different how we're gonna do it. A little bit different, but very similar how the technique we're gonna use here. But we're gonna use scissors, and we are gonna share the technique with the X-Acto knife too for you. But first, what we need for Papel Picado, we need a sheet of tissue paper. Tissue paper called papel de China in Spanish. We call in the United States tissue paper, and this is very soft. And that's how this one. And in other cases, sometimes I use construction paper. And construction paper is a little more thick, but for me it works perfectly. A piece of construction paper. And any paper you have in your home will be work. And the dimensions, depending your photocopy, will be how we want to use. I want to share with you just a little bit and talk a little bit about Papel Picado. Papel Picado is an ancestral way to do a prayer. And also ancestors decorate with the Papel Picado. Their ofrendas, the Papel Picado they use actually was no color paper, was a natural paper, and that come from the bark of a tree. Those paper come from a tree called amate. Ojonote is the name in San Pablito, Pahuatlán, Puebla. Those this is another way to see the paper. But for them, the paper is a very sacred thing, come from a tree. Now we use the paper without consciousness. We don't know why we're using it. We just use the paper and that's it. Even we threw it on the garbage. For ancient people, paper was sacred, usually for healing, or they using for ceremony, the paper. And they do these beautiful cuts. I will be sharing a few copies I carry on about this subject I'm telling you. This paper, the ancestral way they do the Dia de los Muertos celebration go around all year. It's not just one day. It's not specific for one day like how we do it right now here in the United States or in Mexico, even in Mexico. They have different times and celebration for Dia de los Muertos in Mexico. Those they start in the month of February, they go to mid-year and the end of the year too. So these celebrations we're doing right now is in the month of Quecholi. It's 19 months in 1 year in the ancient Mexico. Those is different how we count the months. It's 20 days per month. 1 month is 20 days, 20, 10, 20. It's important to recognize about the mix of both cultures. The Day of the Dead tradition from the Aztecs, but at the same time, this Day of the Dead tradition come from the Spaniards too. They call Todos Santos, or the Day of the Whole Day. the whole spirit or souls. This is an example of one of the ancient, bueno, they still doing this way, the papel picado with bark on San Pablito, and they made a tree of life. You can tell here the tree of life, and they made, I think, the tree of the man in this side and another side. This side is the tree of the man, nature, and this one is the tree of life. They have cut it on bark paper. This bark paper, I don't have an example right now, but this is the closest. Is brown, and they use a different color of the same tree and they put it on top. So they stick up one, they cut one, and later they put it on top of another one. This is very for doing ceremonies and a specific healing too. They heal with this paper. It's incredible how they use the cut paper and still using for ceremonies and for healing. This is the old tradition. They still using this tradition in Puebla, state of Puebla in Mexico, the traditional cut paper. Today they use the papel de China or the papel, the tissue paper, and that's how it looks. And they use a string and they attach another one, and they go attaching many of them. And you can tell. I want to put in the bottom a little color for you to see the images much better. This is, for example, beautiful. I think I want to use another camera. You give me a little chance. I just move to another camera. It will be easy for you to watch and observe. Let me change my camera, and that's it. Perfect. Those, what I try to explain is it's very simple. That's two skeletons and a cross and squares. You can do this work by yourself. You can draw in anything you want, or try to copy from a real paper mache. You can do that too. But this is very simple, and they are very small. The flags, this one, you don't need to make a big flag. This is very small flag. It's almost maybe the long, actually, let me see, 6 by almost 5, 6 by 5, the size. So 6 long and deep is 5 inches. And you can tell all of them are different. This is another 2 skeletons, very simple. This is just a skeleton laughing, very nice. You know, you can have a hat. This one have a hat, and very easy to make. This is like a woman skeleton in green with 2 flowers, the ears, and her face. Very simple drawing, you know, just shapes. This one is a little more complicated, but this one have letters, and these, they say Día de los Muertos, or Día de Muertos. I said Día de Muertos, and have a little skeleton, a shapes, like flowers, flower in the bottom, and that's it. Very simple. I show you another image. This is 2 little skeletons. One is happy, and 2 kids, maybe. Those are very simple and beautiful at the same time. This yellow one too, to say Día de Muertos. You can repeat if you make your strip. Repeat. This is have a big hat. This one, and very simple decorations. In the side, you can tell it's a little curves, and this one is more like the shape of a leaf. And I will be showing you later how to do these cuts. Día de Muertos. The same like the first one. So you just put it together, different colors, you know, you attach one cold color and go to a warm color. Warm will be orange, red, and just go to cold, to blues and red. That will be hot color is red, cold color is blue. Those azul y rojo, you see the difference, cold, and that's what in colors, how you say. So you can put different colors, beautiful, and you have your banderitas or your papel picado strips. So to start, let's go learn a few basics cuts, okay? And to do this, before we start with the whole project, is very easy. I want to make a simple cuts, okay? And that's important for you to, but you can not experiment in your home. You don't need the stencil, you just can experiment in your home. It's very simple, very easy. I just want to explain to you a few cuts, what you can do for decoration, and it's very easy. So you have a strip of paper, you fold your paper, yes. For example, I cutting this will be the top part and the bottom part, no? And I want designs around like circles or whatever. So you made it in half. Made in half your paper. You have both sides. Those need to be perfect folding in the middle. Those when you extend it will be like this. Yeah, let's go make it bigger like this, like a real banderita paper. So what I'm gonna do is the contorno. Contorno means the edge of that, and folding again. So first you have your full sheet of paper like this. I made it in half, perfect half, boom, and I fold it again in half, boom. Yeah, so remember always this part where is the folding part, it will be the center of your flag. Open it to remember this part is, you know, so important to keep this part in the middle, and this is the edge, okay? Those for example, I want to start just this part, the outside part of the flag. So I make it in half, and I can make actually more and more folding to go to a strip. And that strip, I can trace with my pencil in the middle, and I make this. So simple, like a leaf shape, and I just cut it out. Boom, 1, 2, and 3. This is basic cuts. I'm not making the project yet, okay? Basic cuts. What happened when I made this? I just open it, and voila. We have a beautiful design pattern repetitively by the folding, and that's the side of, you can open it, but this is paper of construction paper. You can start with a construction paper, it's easy to do that. Now you fold in this way, and you can do the rest here. Like maybe I don't like this one, but I can go with a circle and a little circle and a big circle. So that's the bottom of your flag. Check it out. Easy, very simple. Just with your hands, you're cutting the edge where you mark. You can mark with any circular thing, or you do it by hand. If you can do that with your hands, you use a circular shape and you just mark the circles. You can use small ones or big taps of the water, or the tap of corcholata we call. And now we have the bottom shape. This could be a little longer, depends what you want in your, like for me, I don't like these very pointy things. And I can say, okay, you know what? I don't like the pointed. I go back to my first shape, fold it, and I make it more like round. You know, I make it more round to look more. And that's a basic shapes for your Papel Picado. I teach this first age for you, and now you look so nice. Right now, could be a skeleton here. I can do whatever with this basic shape. Yes, so you can practice this. You can make maybe more of these, depends the design you want. You can check online the different designs, like the design of the flag. The first flags I show you is very, very different. You see, that's the basic design. Those three big half circles and very little half circles in the edge. You see it? Very beautiful, this one too. This one is a different one. This one, half the bottom is the part of the jaw of the skeleton, and three little ones. That's, and a little circles around. This one is different. This one is a flower, a dot, and the first shape I made with the paper, pointed like a little tree leaf, like the leaf, like a leaf, and a little side half circles. Anyway, after putting this first thing, let's go work with something simple here. If I fold it in half like this, I can do a simple thing. I'm looking for the middle of my paper, but this is, remember, this is the bottom. These three shapes is the bottom. So I'm gonna fold it exactly where my bottom is. And I'm gonna do this. Yes. And I'm gonna work just with half. And to work with half, I need to turn it this way. Remember, this is the outside, this is the inside. And I'm gonna make a shape, just like I wanna draw for you. I wanna make a little circle here. That means like a moon. And I'm gonna make here like a little long leaf, half of long leaf. Imagine this is a leaf. And a little triangle here. And I got the same thing shape on here. I can create this and I go like this and I make a triangle here. And that's it. That's a basic design. So what I'm gonna do is cut, when this is fold, I'm gonna cut half. I wanna on half, don't make more folding, just half folding, and I'm gonna make the round part. Boom. Maybe it's not too round, but I try to make it very round. You can use a little compass if you want it perfectly. I know many of you are a perfection way to do your things. So this is very open. I just show you the basic. Don't go too close to the half circle. Give space. This is a flat space. After a flat space, I made a triangle. 1 and 2. That's it. If I open it, it's gonna be like this. But I made a mistake here. I need space, a big space here, but I will be showing you. This is just to show how to cut this one. But we need a space on top, but we need to fold it, to put it on the string. But it's okay for now. I just showing you the basics of how you can cut different shapes. And this will be another shapes. And I make a triangle. And when I open it, I kind of have like a cross. And I open it. Start looking nice. So what I'm gonna do is another shape. When it is this, and now I'm gonna transversal line. That will be from the center where you do the dot or 3/4 of a dot. This is my transversal. I'm gonna exactly in the middle, boom. I made this shape. And I going again. One more time, I'm gonna trace and triangle, maybe another little triangle, but this is longer. So what I'm gonna do is this. Go, 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 go. Later, a triangle and a little triangle. Just by folding. And now look how beautiful start looking. That's it. You can finish with this. You can duplicate these ones. You have tons of beautiful flags just with your hands. You don't need nothing else. But I know I am Ernesto and I love to decorate. Just folding, following the center of your flag. That's the center. And I'm just gonna trace another one here and maybe another one here. And that's it. But when I fold, I'm gonna get the two of them. Because in this folding, I just careful I'm gonna make two more triangles. And I fold the whole thing, and where I put the line, I'm gonna make another triangles. Everybody from here is okay? They understand what I'm doing? You don't know what you're doing, please, I can repeat everything for you. Sorry, I forgot this one. One more. And let's open it. In my area. And when I open, I have a beautiful flag. I put more like diamond shapes. Yes. Like I told you before, I messed up here on top. This need to be better to have a little H in your flag. That means you need, when you fold it and the paper like this, you can attach it to a piece of, that's the part I messed up with this one. But let's go do this, okay? I'm gonna fold this part. Later, I'm gonna do my half. I'm gonna go very fast, but I know how to do this. And I just will be keep going, folding. Let's go fold it in half. This one go here, and I fold it in half, and I fold it in half. What I'm gonna do is the shape I told you. Half circle, boom, it's done. Oops, me pasé. Okay. Ooh, I do something wrong. You see, when you don't pay attention, I didn't pay attention. I was doing it in the middle. Sorry, that's the wrong way. Let's go continue with the right way. Fold in half your sheet. When you fold in half your sheet, you have your center. Repeat again. That will be work for you. Don't worry. Half. This will be space for you're gonna fold the top part to attach the flags. That's the, and this will be the H where we wanna make half circles, yes? Okay, I save this part. I go to another one, making flat and the end. When you do this, and go here and you make the H one, and this will be a little one. So we have the H of your paper. Now we want to make the big ones. I think I need to divide it on 3, and that will be fine. 2 y 3. 1, 2, and 3. What I'm gonna do is a big thing here, and that's it. Make a little separation in the bottom, and that's the bottom part, and we have ready everything. That's much better, but this part will be folding for the attachment of each flag. So that's the basic thing. Okay, after we explain this part, you can go back to the first part, half, make circles, and we do this, the first project I show you, like this one, with the shapes, half, and all of them is like a rays of the sun, and you mark just the triangles. But today, we're gonna make with a photocopy you have in your home. I sent this one beautiful butterfly, and I sent a skeleton. And the skeleton is like this. I show you this one. La muerte was skeleton. That skeleton is gonna be half. This is my copy, principal copy. I want to preserve that one, but I want to use this one. It's the same thing. I want you to pay attention. This one is more marked, but I don't want to cut that one. I just want to trace. And I'm going to trace on paper the face of the skeleton. Remember, you can cut the tissue paper at the size of this flag. If you see in the top part is flat, that's the part is gonna fold. That's the part is gonna get to the edge of here. I'm gonna mark this one here, just like this. That's the part is gonna fold in to put the string. Everything is marked on the photocopy. It's easy to don't get lost. But for example, we need a sheet of your paper, what we call tissue paper. So the tissue paper, we're gonna unfold the sheets to see how many we can make. Maybe one sheet can be holding 2 or 3 flags. Let's go make it on. This is the paper, tissue paper. I'm gonna fold it very nicely on half. It's very delicate paper. You know that. When you pull it out, very careful and go very kind and nicely flat it. And you have now your paper. What's going on? The next, this is half. This is the edge where these two parts are folding. So remember that part, or it's gonna make a big mistake later, like what happened to me. So I just wanna fold again in half. Very nicely. And what I'm gonna do is just fold it and leave it like this. Okay. Thus I have four sheets here. Or two sheets of paper. Just gonna be the H, this, the middle part of your beautiful banderita. So what you're gonna do is turn the sheet this way, both of them. Maybe you can mark one side. So you look for the bottom part, and actually I have ready yet some paper folding. Okay, yes, I have folding completely everything like this. But before to do that, we need to trace the skeleton. And actually I finished one for you. Let me pick it up and everything, and we start doing it. So what I done here with this tracing paper, I trace the skeleton like this. So I put it on top of the photocopy, half of my, exactly here. Remember, if I fold it this way, it's gonna be like that. So half, and I just, what I done is this. Boom. Just what I do is just go with my pencil, and I going to do the H, drawing, you tracing actually your banderitas, and you tracing, 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 tracing. Here's the skull. You're gonna do this, trace the squares. Remember, trace the squares, and you will be tracing the squares. Did someone have a question from here? Yes.
Which way do you like fold it in half?
Una clase de papel picado para hacerlo.
Mira, what we do at this part, you folding. This is the complete sheet, very long. I show you. You see it? I made half of this sheet, half. And I made it in half. Imagine this is the full sheet, and I just fold it exactly in the half. Look, yes. And later I put it in the edge of the photocopy, and I look for half, for the half, just half. And later I start tracing the edge of the skeleton, making the flower, tracing the head, the teeth, the eyes. I just going like this very fast for you. Because when I do this, I don't need the photocopy to cut. I just gonna cut directly to the paper. Okay. I do the figures. And I going with the rest of the skeleton. This is the take your, no, I'm doing it very fast for you. But you take your time. You don't need to do this too fast. Even this is gonna be recorded. You can come back and say, oh, I forgot this step, and you can see. In this case, I wanna just make a hole here, a half moon here. This is made by half moons. I mark my teeth like this, teeth and teeth. And later I coming back with the teeth in the bottom, maybe some shapes there in the teeth, and no problem for that. That's the nose, I think, of skeleton. And remember, the edge need to be a little separation. Okay, this separation is important. when you open it, you will see the square in the other side. So it's important to do that. I just want to mark big squares, so don't go with too many details, but you're learning here. But you can do the details in your home. Esto is the neck, and I make a square and go like this. Okay, preserving the shape of the jaw, going to here, and almost ready. Little shapes here, little shapes here, circles, shapes. This will be always folding. We're just gonna use a lot of folding. That's the thing I use marking to use folding. But we're gonna fold the whole thing. And maybe I make a big one here. Almost ready. I think if I take out my copy from the bottom, I can use it for making more. Or you can make more copies and later I show you how to attach those. First, I want you to observe here is great. I want you to observe how it's done. So please look, the sheet is just half. Yes. So what is gonna happen? I'm gonna fold the sheet like I do it before, like this. Now I have one side. If I fold my sheet in half, I will have two flags besides the one. So you just need to be very careful here with the folding. Make it very nicely, exactly to the edge, and just pull. Now you have two sheets. Now we're going cutting with your scissors. Take a little challenge, but the tissue paper moves a lot. But you have two, and I'm just gonna do and I need maybe a little scissors. My helper is gonna help me with a little scissors, please. The plastic bag in the bottom. Allá enfrente de ti, tus cosas. And little scissors, but mine's too big. Yes, little scissors, thank you. And I cutting out just this part, 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. And I go with another circle, and a big circle in the bottom. So I'm making the bottom part, and I continue all around the edge, just cutting half circles and half circles. And that's how, this is different how we made it early. I teach you two different ways to do the edge. The one is just folding. In this case, when you use this technique with the photocopy, you just go one by one. So I just share with you two different techniques. Actually, it's gonna be three different techniques, but I don't know if we can get to the another one. But for least, you can have this to start making your paper picado. So this part is gone. Now we have the skeleton, and we have the two skeletons, actually, it's two. So very careful. You can fold this square. You fold the square in half, like how you see here, the square in half. what's gonna do is cut the square. Just the square, okay? Square. So you will be have one square here and one square in the bottom. And you just go cutting out. Sometimes don't come out. Now it's coming. As you see, you have one square and actually the square go through to the second. So you just go cutting the triangle, half of the triangle. Try to follow the shape. And you just cutting out. You have a triangle. Let me change the bottom. So you have a contrast for you to see. That's the banderita. Because I want you to look that. And let's go to this side. Cut this big square. Remember, always make it in half. And the square here in the corner, what I'm gonna do, I can do it this way or the other way. Let's go to it this way. Just the square, okay? And I cut in half the square. Cut in half. And I go this way and I cut in half the square. And I have the square off. As I go around, cutting, cut this one. Anyway, we're going. When you do this, we can have the eye, for example, it's a circle, yeah? Half circle. Just look for the half of the mark. If you want, you can mark the half of the eye. It's a circle. So you just fold the circle, just the circle. We're gonna cut this part, okay? Just this part. Okay, you fold it and you just go around. Choo. That's it. And that's my eye of my skeleton. And I go doing these little shapes, okay? Well, let's go make a big triangle here, but this is too many little ones. We can make a big triangle. And that big triangle will be, it's gonna give the whole thing. So we need to fold it in half. Remember, this is the big triangle. We need to hold it in half. Because here it will be folding, and I just make the shape of the triangle. One cut here, one cut here. One cut is straight, and another one is a little curve. Boom. Simple. That's it. That's it. I think I passed this one will be here, but I'm going keeping cutting. Another way to cut too is you can make this shape better. You just cut a little bit and you introduce your scissors and you cut the way you want. So I make a little cut, introduce my scissors, and I just go around and finish the square following the line. And that's another way to cut too. Through inside, you don't need to fold. Boom. That's much better. And the same thing with this one. Usually I use the X-Acto knives, and I'm gonna explain to you later how I use the X-Acto knife. But it's important to have different options. 1, 2, make 2 cuts, remember, and the third was gonna be straight, but it's a square. And I just go cutting. The teeth is very easy to make the teeth. Just go like this, and just little triangles here. You can go like this, follow the triangles, and a little triangle, that's one teeth, front teeth. And I make another triangle here. I will make another triangle here. That's the teeth. Another triangle. This is half triangle, half circle, and that's the teeth. It's done. The teeth is done. And I just go cutting for the star, for example. The star is easy. Fold in half. And now you can cut 2 or 3 in one. Circle. One little circle. And half moon. And another half moon here. Listo. And that's one. When I open it, I have both. Anyway, you just go cutting out, but the next one I want to share is this one. This is the same technique. I fold my paper in half and I put on top the photocopy. After that, I start cutting the edge. What means I start cutting this part. This one's gonna look better in red. Those half is the photocopy, the other half is been cutting, but I cutting with a specific tool. And this tool, they call X-Acto knife. And X-Acto knives is these ones. They are very sharp. You need to be very careful, okay? You need to get supervised by adult. Usually have a protection for the sharp part. It's very sharp. And this is very good to work with Papel Picado. It's easy and simple and very clean. But you see how it's a little messed up when you do it with your scissors. But if you do the first example I made with the paper, it's very different. But it's just shapes. In this case, you going cutting with, for example, to make this is 2 ways to do it. 1 and 2. And I just take it out the part. And you see through, now it's open. This part is open and that's how will be looks. Because now you see is blue. Because the part, black part is coming out by cutting with the X-Acto knife. Like this. You need to be very careful, but sustain the X-Acto knife, or you can use another cutter. Some cutters like this too. It's a little difficult, but you can use it too. But now I cut the half moon and it's very easy to go through, you see? Because here I need to cut this whole black, where the black is, and I just do it like this. Computer, it's a little more difficult, but you can still do it. You need to be very careful. I show you how. And boom, I just pull and it's gone. This little part is gone. Now you can see through the yellow, those now both sides are open. And I go like that with another triangles. And when you finish the triangles, it's gonna be like this. So you see the difference? Still the black triangles, when you cut it, go through. You need to be very careful and very sharp. And the same thing with the little stars. This one is finished. This one is not finished. In this case here, yes, everything is finished. When it's finished, usually what I do, I attach my photocopy to my piece of paper. Could be construction paper. I fold it in half. Very nice. And I just put on top my photocopy. And the photocopy could be the skeleton or could be the butterfly. Yes, any of these can work. I just put it in the bottom, just look the bottom and half on top. And that's how you're gonna do it. And I just, when you put it to the edge, use a stapler. And the stapler is gonna help you to, the stapler is not working, or maybe yes. It's broken. Now you can put a little piece of tape. You don't have stapler, you can tape it. That's fine too. A little tape. This part, use painter's tape, but you can use any tape where you're gonna cut. And that's so simple like this. A little tape. That would be, or a staple. Staples, remember again, staples here in the corner, staple here, or a little piece of tape. This is tape, and the bottom and another side. You can put 4, that's fine. And this technique is about cutting. So you start cutting, just triangles and squares. And this is the antenna of the butterfly. Remember, this is very sharp. You need to be very careful. I pull it off and the square is ready. Did you see now? The square is ready. I want to put the yellow part. You can see the difference. And I go with the next one. And I go and make the big one. Because when you do these all cuts, it's beautiful. It's just, it amazes me, you know, the first time I done this, I say, oh my God, this is very beautiful. Because if you messed up one, don't worry. You have the file to make more. Ask for the library. You can load it down, the files of the Papel Picado, or go online. And you just cut it out. Print it and put it and cut it out. Because this is how you're going to cut your butterfly. This is a butterfly. Another one was the skeleton. I'll show you both later when we finish this one. This is just examples, how you're cutting out. And now you can see through. See? And you just go cutting. And when you, after cutting for a while, guess what? I finish here. It's half of the paper. I take out this, the two. Oh, before to take out that, we need to cut the bottom. We need to do the bottom part. In this case, this photocopy is straight. I just want to do this big circle. And I go with another half circle. And another half circle. The bottom is ready. If I want to do you want to do this side, you practice your side, and it's easy. Remember, have your scissors ready. Cut this part. That's the bottom part is ready. And I can go half and half, like I show you first. The first place, that one. And I can do another half. I draw a half circle or 2 circles if you want, like this and like this. That's it. That's it, what you need. 1 y 2. 1 and 2, I say in Spanish. 1 and 2. And remember, this part is long part. Just looks like this. And I just go straight here, straight ahead. That's the part we're gonna attach, make it in half. I take out this one. I mark the half part of my flag. And guess what? It's done. I open it. I need to make a contrast paper. Ta-da-da. Look how beautiful the flag is coming. So this is what we want. That's the final product. Very beautiful. You make many of these. Just in your time, when you feel tired, whatever, you make 10 of these and you put it together, flat it. That will be, for example, the first part. That's the bottom part. And here we're going to attach the twine. And I have my example here, thanks to my helper. I have a magic helper here and it's attached to the string. This is just an example. You put a long string and you just go attach, give 2 inches in the side and put another one and another one. And in the end, you will have a bunch of banderitas together, your cutting paper together. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you have a good time. Now you have 3 different techniques how to finish a flag. It's not just one way, it's many ways we can work, make paper flags.